So I am back. Some very questionable lighting. Very favorite. So I am back in my favorite parking structure, and apparently my preferential place to pour my heart out to all of you. I have some other things I really want to say. So this is round 2, Marti's addendums to creative plagiarism and clown eggs. Here we go. I did it. I said it. I actually got that off my chest. And almost immediately upon doing so, I thought, I really don't have to do this. I don't have to tell anybody. No one has to know I recorded this video. I can just keep this my little secret until my deathbed. And the problem with that is that I kind of often have this deathbed mentality. And that's kind of when I'm thinking about things, I ask myself, is this going to matter to me on my deathbed? Am I going to care about this? I asked myself that question, and this is absolutely some deathbed shit. Like, if I was like laying there and it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be 60 years from now. That's the thing. None of us know when we're going to go. We all think we have a whole bunch of time, but we really don't know. So if I was dying and I hadn't got this off my chest, it would be an itch that needed to be scratched. I'm just telling you what happened to me. That's why we have the phrase, don't shoot the messenger. And again, to remind everyone, this is not to get you on my side. I'm not trying to recruit loyalty or anyone to what I believe is my theory. It's mine alone. I take responsibility for it, and I'm not putting it on anyone else. I do not want to have that job or that position. I've already clarified that, so I don't want to hear the comments about clout or attention or any of that shit, because quite frankly, people who want that kind of stuff, attention and clout and notoriety, they don't go into hiding. They don't remove themselves. They don't take themselves out of the game. That's not really how they operate. So I can tell you that that's not my motivation. I don't want those things. I don't want that job. And like I said previously, I also believe that those people deserve their jobs. They just don't need anything from me. I can't reiterate that anymore. That is my whole point of this. Not to get you on my side, to protect myself. Not to demonize anyone, but to demonstrate that this is what happened to me. That's how I plan to protect myself. I don't prefer to have the internet as a middleman in any fashion. I don't put my problems on the internet. I'm really quite a private person. So, it's definitely coming out of my comfort zone and my shell to even let you in on this problem. This is my choice. It's also not something that I've really let on as to how badly it has damaged me or what it has truly done to me. And I think I did all right. I allowed myself to be moderately unhinged, but I feel like I was relatively pulled together. You're looking at the more refined and healed version of myself, but there's still a lot of surface tension and bubbles under there. So I feel good having got that out. I do feel different having said what I wanted to say. I just know there's more that I did need to add on to that. So that's why we're here again. So let's go back to middlemen. As I mentioned, I don't use the internet as middlemen. I don't take my problems to the internet so that I can receive feedback from others or bring others into the situation. If I do have an issue with someone, I like to go directly to that person, and in a relatively punctual manner. I like to get things figured out, because otherwise there's just this kind of energy of things being up in the air. So I like to close the loop. I like to close the circle. And people in my life know how I feel about them, good or bad. If I love you, you know it. If we've had a problem, you know it, because I've come to you and I've told you about it. And I think that's important to me, because I can't have outstanding energy regarding a situation. I like to have progress and clarity so that we either understand we're moving on from this or we're not. This is not really something that I could just say, hey, you're going to sit down in a room with me and we're going to talk about this. I'm going to tell you what this has done to me. I'm going to tell you that this was not okay, because don't think I wouldn't take that meeting. Don't think I would not sit down with these people if I had the opportunity to do so. I don't actually see that that's a reality. I don't see how that's a possibility. So since I cannot go directly to these people, the only way that I know to resolve the issue is to talk about it out loud, publicly, take it from inside myself, put it out here, again, so that I have somewhere to point. I can say, you guys, remember what I told you? Remember all those things that I said to you? Remember how I told you what was happening to me? Well, guess what? They did it again. And this time, I'm going to show you. So that is my game plan. I mentioned before, one of two things can happen, but I also thought of a third thing. One, it just stops, which again, we all know because we watched my video and we know my truest intention and desires of my heart, that it just stops. Two, it doesn't. Actually, two, I added a new one. Two is you start citing me as your inspiration, because that's also something you can do. If you're going to keep doing it, you can also just be honest. Or three, you keep doing it, you add ammo to my argument. You keep proving me right. So I just feel like there's not really any way I can lose, other than I know that people are going to have their opinions. I know they're going to say, oh, you're in your head, you're thinking this, and that. I really don't care. Okay, I've already told you I don't care. I'm just adding on some of my addendums. I left some of them as captions that would pop up in the video because they were afterthoughts that I was having. But I want to start with a couple things. One, I mentioned it in there as kind of a cutaway. But what if it was me doing it to them? On any level, right? Say I made it to the top and I was doing it to someone below me, or say I'm at the level I'm at, I'm an indie person, and I'm just constantly taking from someone at the top. Is that right? It's not. It's not right on, at, or from any level. But I wanted to flip the script and say, what if it was me doing it to them? And what if you knew it? What would you do? I just feel like it would be such a different story. Everybody would be like, don't book this girl because... Do you guys love when I do my cutaway voice? Don't book this girl. Anyways, don't book this girl because she's just copying so-and-so from the top. Right? Right? You would say I was a hack. I was unoriginal. I was not presenting ideas that were my own. So to me, it is no different if someone above me does it. I do not believe that I'm the only one that this has happened to. I made mention that I've seen things be taken, moves, captions, spots, catchphrases, I mean, all sorts of things, right? But I don't believe I'm the only person that this has happened to. I have other examples of people that I could point to and also say, like, if you want my opinion, that person sure looks a lot like this person, but that's not my story to tell. So while I do think that I'm not the only one that this has happened to, I'm not going to point out others. That is kind of for you to look into and also for them to say. But by the same token, I still want to be an advocate for those people, even if they remain nameless, because again, that's just my opinion, and it's also not my story to tell. This is my story to tell, what I believe has happened to me. But again, I do not believe that I am the only one. And I'm very aware that it is a bold assumption, a bold accusation to make, if you will. I'm aware that it's bold. I'm aware that it's dramatic. It doesn't matter, because sometimes the truth is those things. So let's talk about why this is important for me to do. One, my mental health. Two, my quality of life. And three, because I have tried everything else. I have tried just forgetting about it. I have tried just letting it go. And as I mentioned before, I did a pretty good job with that until it became a persistent and relentless issue. And one example would just pop up after another. And that just, like I said, reopens the wound. It takes me back to that unhealthy place of being aware that it's happening to me. I thought about just deleting all of my social media, just vanishing, taking Marti Daniels completely off of the internet, so that my content wasn't there, but also I didn't have a reminder that I wasn't participating, and that it was just kind of this sad graveyard of past memories and ambitions. So, you know, that was also something I contemplated. I contemplated changing my entire appearance. I thought, well, what can I do? Should I dye my hair blonde? Should I dye it red? Should I do anything to just make myself different, because I can't stand what I feel like this has become or been reappropriated for. I was having kind of a major identity crisis. I didn't want to show up as myself anymore because I was so tired of seeing it somewhere. It's freaky. It's freaky. I'm not going to sugarcoat things anymore. This was fucked up. It is. It still is. It was then. It is now. It's fucked up. And I also want to take this opportunity to remind everybody that there was a point in time where none of us looked alike. And that point in time is when none of them looked like me. We got clowns out here having more integrity than the entire wrestling business. Okay, another thing that do we need to move again? Are we doing lighting shit? Okay, lighting shift. We had to do it again. You should be used to this by now. Okay, another thing that we need to address, because it was only addressed as a caption in the previous part of the video. I am aware that they did not need to hire me. They did not owe me anything. No one did. I'm not claiming that by saying that I did not give them a reason to not hire me. I'm just saying that it made a lot more sense with everything that happened after. And that I also did not give permission. And I did not say, I totally understand that you guys don't want to hire me, so somebody else should look like me and be a wrestler. That never happened. And why would it? And why would I be okay with it? So that's the whole point of that, is no, they did not owe me anything. No, they did not need to hire me. But no, they did not have permission to take anything from me. Any part of me. And they still do not. I'm saying that now. I mean, that's like clearly who I'm talking to, is to the people who are doing this. They also probably didn't think that I would do anything about it, because what can I do? All the things I've tried, forget about it, ignore it. This, you know, sit in your car in a parking structure and tell your sob story. I mean, really, there's not a lot I can do. And they probably count on that. So that's probably why it continues to happen, because they are bigger than we are. So I really don't think that it's appropriate on, at, or from any level. It doesn't matter if you're above me, below me, if I'm above you, below you, just, and by the way, there's people in the indies that do that, who are trying to copy the people up top, trying to emulate the people that they see on television, and don't do that either. Don't do that shit either, okay? That's not a good look. Don't try to do it on somebody else's look. So don't do it from the top, don't do it from the bottom. Don't do it at, from, or to anybody on any level. Get your own ideas. Don't copy them, and you guys don't copy us, okay? Because if we're good enough, if I'm good enough that all of my stuff can be taken, I'm good enough to do it myself. As the original, as the creator, as the person that has ownership over that intellectual property. What do I do with all the work that I've already created that I haven't put out? I told you I have some of my favorite stuff ever that I am holding close to the chest because I won't let it go. I love it too much. And knowing that this was happening, there was no way I was going to put it out and allow anything to happen to it before I addressed it. I'm too proud of my work. I'm too protective over it now. So what about all that? Do I just leave it taking up terabytes of space on my computer, or do I share it with the world? I had two instincts. One was to keep it pulled away and hidden, and the other part of me just wants to live. I want to release the dam. I don't want to hold back anymore. My creative faucet is my flow, and that being turned off is what has me so fucked up in the first place. I gotta get it back. I gotta get it back if I'm gonna be half the person I was before. I gotta get it back if I'm ever going to be anyone I want to know in the future. I'm here to defend it. I'm here to fight for it. So don't settle for that off-brand Marti Daniels shit. Okay? This is the real thing, baby. Established in 2012, and I'm not going anywhere. And I didn't fucking die. So what is the best case scenario for this? Yes, I can protect myself. Yes, I can move on. Yes, I can start sharing my work again. But big scale, big picture, I think one of the best case scenarios is that this becomes a topic of discussion. This becomes a tradition that we want to honor yet again. It becomes something that we start demanding from people, that they bring their own originality to things, that we don't put up with people who are just lazily stealing things. So, best case scenario, we start demanding originality. We do not put up with creative plagiarism. We do not put up with laziness. I'm not settling for it anymore. Okay, so I actually think we are go for landing. Like, I think we are good for a wrap up. Number one, I don't need anybody on my side. That is not what this is for. I said it a million times previously, and I'm going to keep saying it. I do not need anyone on my side. I have an absolution of certainty that this is what has gone on. I'm not here to convince you. I am here to protect myself. I am here to free myself, to transition myself onto the other side of this issue. I think I did a pretty good job of maintaining my emotions, but, you know, sometimes you gotta roar to remind people you're a lion. Roar, baby. Roar, baby, roar.
You watch those nature documentaries on the cable?
Yeah.
You see the one about lions?
Yeah.
Get this lion. He's the king of the jungle. Huge mane out there. He's laying down under a tree in the middle of Africa. He's so big. He's so hot. He doesn't want to move. Now, the little lion cubs, they start messing with him. Biting his tail, biting his ears. He doesn't do anything. The lioness, she starts messing with him, coming over, making trouble. Still, nothing. Now, the other animals, they notice this, and they start to move in. The jackals, hyenas, they're barking at him, laughing at him. They nip his toes and eat the food that's in his domain. They do this, and they get closer and closer and bolder, till one day, that lion gets up and tears the shit out of everybody, runs like the wind, eats everything in his path. Because every once in a while, the lion has to show the jackals who he is.
Can you guys hear these bullet bikes? Hold on. They just waved at me. Anyways, so hi from the bikers. But I'm afraid to be up in this parking structure when it's pitch black. This light just keeps going on and off. I'm like, well, is it motion sensor? Because nothing's over there. So is it a ghost? This is not a fuck you guys. This is a fuck off. Just fuck right off. Fuck off. Fucking don't look at my Instagram. Close your eyes. Don't even look at me. All right? I don't even catch you looking my way. I did remember something I wanted to tell you about. Why this can be so frustrating too is I'll give you an idea, right? And I'll see people turn around and put it on their Patreon, and they'll charge you money for an idea that I gave you for free. I've seen that shit. Mari Daniels is back, and she's not putting up with your bullshit. Oh, and I still got it. You guys want to see the sunset? It's really hard to tell. She's a beaut, Clark. She's a beaut.